What is up, guys? I got another little recap coming to you. This one coming from a recent matchup we just had with Cold September. And as you can see, the war, I mean, really, we just kind of, we did really well early, and they were never able to recover. And admittedly, I shouldn't talk bad, but because admittedly they did have a bad war. I mean, that's all there is to it. They had a couple guys, I think one Town Hall 11 and one Town Hall 10, who had real life issues that came up and weren't able to give it their full attention. So it is a little unfortunate because of that, and we really, I don't know, it definitely hurt them even worse because we really put the pressure on early. So I think with like 4 hours remaining in the war, the ball was already in their court, and they really had to be pretty perfect from then on out. I think like 2 or 3 fails, and unfortunately they had a couple early fails after that, so they had to be really aggressive, and it didn't work out in their favor. So a bit unfortunate, but it was still a good war on our end. And of course they did pretty much clear our 9s. Like I mentioned, they had to be aggressive at the end, so that's why that 9 didn't get cleared, because they couldn't afford to put a dip on it at the end, so they had to go up higher. So a little unfortunate there for them. But they did have 3 dips, if I remember correctly. I don't remember, and we had 1 ourselves. And our fresh triple rate was pretty bad this war, to be honest. Where theirs was huge. I think they had like, we had 20 bases, 20 Town Hall 9s, and I think they probably got 10 to 12 of them fresh. I mean, really impressive. I was very impressed. They did a lot of mass Valk and stuff like that. We had a 6 out of 19 fresh triple rate, so a little bit low on that. We did have to have that dip, like I mentioned, and it also really helped us too on their Town Hall 10s. Their 2 lower Town Hall 10s, we did sort of, I'll show them, but we did sort of heavy Valk attacks, and we're able to get 2 fresh triples here on, I think it was, Beer Me and Alpha Dog. We were able to fresh triples. That was really big for us. So. Also, Sorak had a 6-pack as a Town Hall 11 attacking Town Hall 10s. I'm actually, I'll probably show one of his attacks. If I don't show it, just ignore the fact that I just said this. And then Cool Opotamus had one, Tito had one, Sep, Brad, and Top Cop. So a couple of our 9s did have some 6-packs. Sep and Brad having them fresh. So pretty cool stuff. I will go and start the recap here, showing Kratos here being attacked by Sorak. And this is a dip, so if I might end up not showing it, but oh well. If you can hear what I'm saying, then I'm obviously showing it. So anyway, Sorak is basically going to copy an attack that I did, which was actually sort of a scout for him. And what he's going to do is, I'm fast forwarding right here, but he's just going to send in his queen and his Valks and his hogs almost at the same time. And that sounds interesting, because it is. But really, it makes sense. Because if he's having his Valks and his queen all move together, it really is going to work out well for him, because the Valks are going to be able to take out this back Inferno Tower before his queen is up there, and the hogs are going to have good tanking across this mortar, and then the rest of his hogs are just going to be able to path through across this expo here. So as you can see, his queen is walking in, Valks are all going in right now. Pretty much as soon as they're in that wall, he's going to get a rage down, he's going to get his hogs over on the east side, and well, hogs were a little bit late. And then they're going to go ahead and use that tome as well. So having that tome done means that, no freeze is needed, obviously. The Teslas aren't doing anything against them. Really late on that rage. Really late on the back rage. I was not happy with that, and I told him that after, but about 8 seconds late on that. Look at that. But it ends up working out. This heal timing is pretty perfect. Does hit that giant bomb and loses 2 or 3 hogs to the spring trap there, but these are all able to get healed back up. And then they're going to path back here. Look at this, though. The queen is going to be able to reach a lot of this base. The hogs are still alive. Watch this. They hit a giant bomb, double giant bomb. Boom. Still alive, has the Grand Warden up. So the max Grand Warden is actually able to keep max hogs fully alive through a double giant bomb, which is massive, massive, massive on cleanup like that, where you know that they're not going to get hit again, and you can still have them alive for cleanup after the base is done. So that's really cool. Still has his queen ability right here, which is going to go ahead and pop to get through that wall. Does have this wizard that was a little bit late over here on the east side, but it is streaking around, taking out these buildings. Everything is pathing back around, and really the benefit of getting all your troops down very close to at the same time like that is that you have a lot of time for cleanup, right? So you'll get through the base in about a minute, and then all the rest is going to be cleanup. And I mean, not just cleanup. There will be another compartment, but still, very cool attack, very cool pathing and everything. Really worked out well for Sorak here. So cool stuff. Now we're going to come down to number 8, where we're going to have Alpha Dog being attacked here by Draven. I should also mention that Itsu, who is from Dark Looters, had a triple here on Joshi, a Town Hall 11 attacking down. And Sorak also had another triple, number here, on number 7 here, Austin taking out his base. So pretty cool. Good war to Sorak, obviously. Pretty huge for him. Here we have Draven, though. He's just going to basically do a GoVaHo. I mean, that's really all there is to it. You can kind of see he's going to Earthquake the core. He's just going to make a nice, easy funnel. Unfortunately, the way he drops his minions, they do hit that Tesla right at the beginning. So they do die there, and then this one, of course, gets hit by the Tesla after it goes down. But he's just taking his sweet time, making the funnel with the minions. And once it's made, we'll go and wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom! Just a Valk down, and that's just going to help make the funnel and then get inside. All the Valks going down en masse right here. You can see they're just going to rip through that wall really easily. And this is pretty cool. Watch what he does right here. So he's going to drop Rage and a heal right behind it, right? Even knowing that the Valks are going to be targeted by the Inferno Tower, they're going to get healed up on this back wall, right? So they're going to be healed up through that. And then, as you see here, same thing. Drops a heal on top. And I think this heal could have been a little further back, to be perfectly honest. But it ends up working out, too, because they pass back through it. So that really helps them out as well. They do hit the Giant Bomb, though. But having these Hogs over here on the east side is going to do a lot to path back around the base. And unfortunately, the ones on the west were pretty much wasted as that Tesla farm popped. And that's probably one reason that he stopped his Hog deployment and just kept that one in his pocket. Because as you can see, they are going to all have to path back over. He's going to get a little bit lucky here, to be honest. The Queen hit a Giant Bomb, which is unfortunate, but the Hogs are going to barely be able to get to that Tesla, which is going to help them, because the Queen will bust through this wall and be able to take out a Tesla right here. Oh, took out the cannon. Tesla's still alive, but all these Valks are going to path all the way back and get pretty lucky here. Does still have 2 Wizards. Going to drop one on the outside right about now, as these Valks are going to take good pathing here to just walk down this hallway, and they're going to come out the hallway right on the backside to take out this other Tesla. So if it had been a little bit different, there's somewhat of a chance that the Tesla would have been just sort of sniping his Valks off, but ends up working out. But hey, you got to get a little bit of luck on these fresh hits. So very nice tack there to Draven. Our next hit, we're coming down to Mr. T on number 9. This base was hit like 4 times, I think. Not exactly sure, but kind of annoying that we had to hit it so many times on a lower Town Hall 9, or Town Hall 10. I guess not that low, but still. So he's going to do basically just a little Queen Walk, GoVaHo right here. Going to start his walk over here on the west side. She's going to take out these defenses, step up for that mine and the mortar, and then continue walking around. Perfect right there. And then he's just going to wall break her in, and as you can see, he's just going to be in a certain place where he isn't going to initially get hit by the air defenses. And honestly, this raid was done a lot of times, and basically the exact same way every time. And personally, I don't like it, to be honest. I mean, she's walking by that air defense, and you know she's going to get hit by the sweeper. So, like, if you know that, then the Valk's are already down right now to potentially get that air defense down. You know, so like, I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. But since we had gotten it like 3 times before, all with high 90%, you know, obviously worth it to go for it. So he's going to send his Giants in now to help bust through that wall. King down, Valk's down, they're all just going to rip through. Queen is going to take out the CC troops right there. You can see he does go and drop the jump, making sure that the Valks don't go over to the elixir storage over there. They are going to rip through everything, get to the core, and then has a jump out the backside as well. And he's just going to bring a heal. He doesn't have a rage for them to get through, but there isn't that much for them to get through, to be honest, and not that much DPS. So there is a giant bomb on the backside, which can be bad. And as I mentioned, the air defense is on his queen, or on the healers rather, and she is going to go down. So that really could have been bad for cleanup, but as it works out, he does make really tiny bacon right there, as these hogs are going to be able to take out these exterior point defenses, and then he has good tanking on that backside to be able to take down that last cannon. So definitely lucky, don't get me wrong, definitely some luck in there. Barely getting through that cannon. I think that hog had one more shot before it died. Did hit a red mine up north, which is kind of funny, before the minion could really help with cleanup, but it's okay. The Valks, the hogs, everything's going to be working together here to take out these last buildings, and it is going to be a nice triple here from Mr. T. So very nice attack to Mr. T. Our next attack, we're going to come down to number 10, where we have GSWarriodMike going in. He's going to take out Beer Me with a little Queen Walk GoVaHo. Pretty much all GoVaHos coming on the lower Town Hall 9s. It is the probably safest attack. I kind of, on the low Town Hall 9s, just like doing Mass Valk, but it definitely is a safer attack doing these GoVaHos, unless you don't know where the bombs are, which is why I like the Mass Valks. See, this is kind of bad right here, and I'm going to zoom in. I usually don't do that, but you saw his wall breakers failed, but what's going to happen, since this minion is taking out that dark spell factory, the queen steps up, and after she takes out the archer tower, boom, goes for a wall. Ridiculously lucky. Very lucky. So even a wall breaker fail couldn't stop him. Does get that hog to come out. Gonna have a poison for the golem and the loon. I forgot to mention also that this is fresh, so very, very impressive as well. The golem on the queen is going to be very beneficial on Valk attacks, because if a golem pops, then it pretty much forces a heal on your Valk, so that's obviously huge. That minion is going to die to the air defense right there, speed it up through the CC kill. And once everything's looking good, he's going to go ahead and send in a giant and some wizards down there, and they're going to sort of meet up with his king. Unfortunately, I don't like the Valk drop because they don't really meet up with the king very well. So the king kind of ends up lagging behind. He's doing nothing right now, right? And they're just going to take that rage, they're going to bust that wall really easily. Nice tiny little trip right there in that double giant bomb, so really not that much going on. The queen gets stuck in a really awkward position though, which kind of sucks because they kind of have to go around, and they're taking out the fences that pretty much the queen can take out, so not the best thing there. That heal could have been further north to cover just the Valks, or could have been further south to cover those Valks and the hogs. So that heal could have been a different placement, but still, I mean, look, all his hogs are perfectly well tanked right here. They're all going to path back through, and look, he had a rage in the pocket. So he raged his hogs there, raged his hogs and his Valks at the end, and they're all going to path back through. Unfortunately, these hogs do die to this cannon, but as you see, as his Valks and his king and his queen are all continuing to work around the base, they are going to come down and be able to reach that cannon pretty easily. So very nice attack there to GSWarriodMike. Next, we're going to come down to number 11, where we have Jimbo. This is onto the Town Hall 9s, by the way, where we have Jimbo doing a little Queen Walk Mass Valk, and like I mentioned, we saw a ton of these coming from Cold September, and they were good with them too. Very efficient on those fresh hits, and even if they didn't work, it was a massive scout for them, so it really helped them out. And they had trouble with one of our bases, and that really was kind of their downfall. I think it took 5 or 6 attacks, and it was a 20 Town Hall 9, so it took a quarter of their Town Hall 9 attacks, or well, I guess an eighth of their Town Hall 9 attacks, but still, you know, it's pretty big. Queen's going to step up right here, be able to reach just a ton of the defenses right here, and as you see, I'll go ahead and fast forward it, once everything is moving in really nicely here, he's just going to wall breaker in right there. And one thing that we got this from Wiz on her face, to be honest. One thing that I like though, he has 3 wall breakers in the CC. So he's just going to go and rely on those wall breakers to pull the Valks in. And it definitely requires you to go ahead and have a perfect funnel made, because they're not going to go in there before the wall breakers pop. But as you can see, it works out. The heal could have been on the wall, but it is going to be very nice here for his Valks to be able to take out these exterior buildings. These wizards are streaking down the side here as well as that archer tower goes down. He still has his king ability as well. These Valks are going to take out these buildings over here on the southwest, as his queen is going to take out all these in the north, and these Valks are just going to ignore the CC and be able to take out all this right here. Essentially swags that heal. Oh well, I guess it is still helping out quite a bit because that cannon is still shooting at them, but just a ton of Valks alive. I mean, just really massive. Still has his king ability, going to go and pop that to get to the wall, as the Valks are going to continue working around, and everything is just moving through nicely here for cleanup. It is going to be a pretty nice triple here. That northern compartment is giving him a little bit of trouble as the Valks are getting picked off by that cannon. But as you can see, just way too many Valks, and that wizard tower is going to go down for a beautiful, beautiful triple here by Jimbo. Next attack, coming down to number 12, we have Holy Stogie going in, doing a Queen Walk GoVaHo. And Holy Stogie is very, very proficient with these Queen Walk GoVaHos, and it's very obvious. When you watch it, almost every raid is below 2 minutes 30 seconds. I mean, it's really impressive. But as you can see, going to send in that giant and the wizard there to take out that mortar, which is a really cool move right there, because it's going to make a really good funnel for his queen, and actually trips that skelly trap as well, which actually can be big, because most likely that'd be something that the hogs would encounter. But as it is, the queen is going to take him out, and you know, it's not going to be an issue later on. Queen is going to continue her walk down here to the south, is going to encounter that sweeper, but as you can see, no real issue from the air defenses right here, as he's going to get the CC lure. Good timing on the lure. If he had been a little bit later, there's a decent chance that the dragon would have been on his healers, which would have obviously been really bad. And then here, we just have the wizard making a nice little funnel right here, taking advantage. Wow, that was actually really close to not being a good funnel, but it ends up working out. It does get that poison down. Valk's going to rip through this little compartment really easily here. Jump goes down in the core, as the Valks are going to split in there and then start moving around. Pretty easy stuff, Just going back textbook here, getting them healed up through the core, and then just going to start dropping in his hogs as well, start sprinkling them in, and they're just going to take out these exterior point defenses as the Valks are in the middle just doing everything. I mean, goes ahead and use 2 heals on the Valks. And as you see, the Hogs really are completely tanked right now. Just 1 cannon shooting at him, as everything else is on his kill squad. Except that Northern Archer Tower, I guess. But it doesn't really matter. They're just moving through really easily right here, and does have that last heal. So he's going to drop that heal. Just look at that. That's perfect heal placement. Just covering right at the edge of that Archer Tower right here, getting everything healed back up as they're going to come into these last defenses. Even if there is bacon, which we already knew there wasn't by this air defense, then it's over. There's nothing that can be done. Just too many Hogs alive, as everything is going to continue pathing around. Decent amount of cleanup still to be done up there in the north. Almost makes cleanup bacon, which is the rarest form of bacon, but it does work out for him to where all his Hogs are going to be able to take down the rest of this base. So really just beautiful attack here from Holy Stogie. If he'd been a little bit quicker with his cleanup, though, I would have liked it better. Next attack, we're going to come down to 13. We're going a long way. 11, 12, 13. Brad just doing his patented HGH, and he does it very well, so why not keep doing it? Same thing as always, just going to basically go directly at the queen, get those healers on her, get that poison down to slow the queen and the CC down, and doesn't actually get the queen with the poison, so a little unfortunate there, but it is going to work out. They are going to get through. Has those Valks as well, which are catching aggro on the queen, so they're helping bust the wall, and then of course they do rip over to the queen after the king goes down to take her down pretty easily. Jump goes down on that center compartment as the giants are going all around. Unfortunately, the healers have already gone to the king, but as you see, when they're overlapping right there, the giants get completely healed back up, being under rage right there. So very, very nice. They do ignore the air defense, which isn't great, but the queen will be able to snipe it and still keep his healers alive, as they are continuing to help pushing his giants through a little bit further, as the Hogs are just going to be sprinkled in over here on the southwest, and then on the northeast or northwest as well, southeast, northwest, I can never get that right. And as you can see, he does have 9 Hogs remaining, and he's just going to be very patient right here. He's going to try to keep these Hogs alive with a heal, but he does have 1 heal in the pocket, so he's just going to wait for his queen, which has a healer on it, so it's going to be full tanked, and wait for his king to do his thing. And once he's tanking that Archer Tower, all the Hogs are going to come in, and they're just going to path through really easily right here with a heal, and very good tanking as well. So pretty perfect timing there. He does actually keep the king alive as well, which is going to really help him out for cleanup here. And they're just going to path through really nicely, take out the rest of this base. Queen can pretty much reach everything from the outside, as well as the base is going to go down to the rest of his troops here. So just a ton of troops still alive. Very good patience there, holding on to those 9 Hogs. Cool raid, cool raid. For our next attack, we're going to come down to 18, where we have cool Opotamus doing a Queen Walk LaLoon. As I take a sip of water. I'm out of water. Like I mentioned, Queen Walk LaLoon does not have a golem in the CC. He's just going to wall break his queen down here on the southeast side, and be able to get into that compartment. As you see, he does go ahead and drop the golem or the giant down to tank for his wall breakers. Then queen goes down after the funnel is made, just going to walk straight up. There's really nothing to keep her from going in. Taking out the elixir storage and continuing up, taking out the other elixir storage. Just have to drop the rage to get that queen to step up a little bit further, and as you see, she is going to be able to step up to take out the enemy queen. Does have the CC come out, and that's a little bit of a hard CC for the queen to get down, a lot of single things, so she is actually going to have to pop her ability, which I don't think he was ready for, because he does have another rage, and probably just would have used the other rage if he had been ready for it, but it does work out for him. It's going to get that haste down, starting as LaLoon down here from the southwest side. As you can see, there's really no air defenses over here, so he's just starting them down with no hounds. Probably could have started a hound on the southwest to be able to absorb any traps, but it does end up working out for him, as they're going to get a rage down there to cover just that big compartment, and then get a little bit of a nice loon split as well. As these are all working around, does have 1 more haste, and that doesn't have a rage to cover the expo, which can sometimes be bad, but it is going to work out for him here, as he's going to be able to haste all the way over to that last bit of the base. Plus he has his queen alive. King was essentially just cleanup on this base. That's really all he did, and does have a couple wizards as well that he's going to drop down there in the south to be able to get those buildings. Queen is still alive. Queen taking out that little skelly trap to keep the loons from going from being real stupid and just chasing him around. King going around getting the rest of this cleanup. Look at that loon split. 1, 2, 3, 4 little packs of loons. Does have 2 hounds that didn't pop, which is frankly ridiculous. So that could have been really bad for his cleanup. But as you see, it does work out, where he has a couple pups down there in the southwest, and his queen goes to the core, and they're going to all converge on that last gold mine, taking it out for a very beautiful triple here from cool Opotamus. Love it. I love the Queen Walk LaLoon. And for our next attack and final attack, we have Ajay doing a CB LaLoon. And Ajay is just, like I mentioned, CB LaLoon, so he's just going to be able to send his Golem and his King and his Queen and a couple Wizards directly here on the northwest side. He is going to jump in, and he's going to be able to reach that air defense. And I think his Queen actually stays alive, do good tanking, and might even get to that last air defense over there on the northeast side as well. Not sure, that is where he started his LaLoon though, so it didn't really matter. Which is kind of interesting because he is starting directly at the sweeper to some degree, but it ends up working out for him, so who am I to judge? So once the beautiful funnel is being made, Queen is walking over there, just kind of doing almost like a Queen walk style pathing from the Queen. Does have to pop her ability, which I don't think he was ready for, but it does work out as the jump goes down a little bit late, quite a lot of it late to be honest. And the King is going to take out the Wizard Tower, the Tesla, Town Hall, everything, as most of the other troops are all trapped here on the Lava Hound. So a bit unfortunate, but it is still a nice raid. Obviously, it does have that poison to go down. A little bit late on it. I would have put it out early. But it's going to work out as those last pups are going down. Queen's going to take out the Town Hall and then take out the rest of the pups. And at this point, he is going to go and start his LaLoon portion of his raid. Really good timing, to be honest, to save the Queen. And yeah, as you can see, she's just going to help with clean up at this point. So Loon's going down, does drop that haste down as well to be able to essentially tank the sweeper is what they're doing. And they're going to path through really well. Once they're moving through after that air defense, he's going to come in from the southeast side and just drop a good number of packs down there to be able to support his main group. Does drop that rage down to cover the expo, and even also covers to the Tesla farm as well, so that's going to help him out. And well, it goes to the air defense first, but it is going to be okay. They're going to go to that Tesla farm after the expo, I guess. And then just going to drop the rest of his loons down here from the southwest side. Doesn't have any cleanup loons, which is sometimes a really good thing to keep, but it does end up working out for him really well, as he does plenty of pups over there on the east side. Queen did die to the King, which is a bit unfortunate, and does have a haste as well, which was a little bit off in my opinion. Could have been further south to cover the mortar as well. But as you see, it is going to work out as the loons and the Lava Hound are going to take out that Wizard Tower, Queen, or Archer Tower, and then continue working around right here. Going to get a little bit of a split, take out that Builder Hut, as the pups and the loons are all going to work down here to the southwest side to get the rest of this cleanup. So a really beautiful attack here from Ajay. Beauty, beauty, beauty. Nice attack. Nice attack, Ajay. So now let's look at the stats. As you can see, it really just came down to we got more 3 stars because they had to be really aggressive at the end, and unfortunately when it didn't, their initial push to be aggressive didn't work out, so they couldn't come back from that, which is, it's unfortunate. I kind of hate that the score is like this because they're a much better clan than that, and it's gonna be good though. And the reason I say that is because we're currently tied 1-1, and we're gonna have a freaking heck of a tiebreaker coming up, so that's gonna be really fun. As I mentioned, they did leave our top 2 Town Hall 11s 1 star. They actually had to go down and go for fresh triples on our 10s because of that, and that was unfortunate for them. But as you can see, I mean, good percentage all around. It just was the stars at the end. That's all it really was. And yeah, I mean, a very good war. As I mentioned though, we had only 6 of 19 fresh hits, which is not that good, and they had like 12 of 20, which is really impressive. I mean, their fresh Town on 9 hit rate was very impressive. That was one thing I was very impressed by them. And, you know, I mean, cool stuff though. Very good war, though, to Cold September. Thank you all for doing an arranged matchup with us, and of course, we'll see you in the future. Good thanks to my clan as well for providing me with a great quality content, and thank you to the viewer for tuning in, checking it out, and seeing what you can learn. And you know what? If you have something to teach us, let us know. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and do take care. Peace.